of the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast, Video Edition. I'm Eric.
And I'm Marcus, the grand finale. And why don't you just say the Sharpshooters Video Show?
Well, because
it's not a podcast on YouTube.
I might have yeah, people still consider them podcasts on YouTube too, Marcus. It's the thing that you call. But anyway, as you can see, we're back in the corner. We're at my house recording this show in the corner of the room with the hanging picture as we normally do. And of course, Marcus and I have absolutely no plan for this show. We have no topic. We have absolutely nothing. So Marcus, for the first time ever in the video edition of this show, we're going to have an open forum where we just talk about the very first thing that pops into our mind, Marcus. Would you like to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Marcus, thank you for allowing me to go first. Yes. Marcus.
See, man, I should have brought my script. I don't know why I got you unscripted on this show.
Marcus, it's always better when I go off the cuff, because you never know. But Marcus, I want to steal a reference. Because you know, with all these power plays going on, shout out to the 2012 Stanley Cup champions, the Los Angeles Kings, Marcus. I was thinking to myself,
like 8 months ago.
I'm still giving the shout out because I said power play. Don't worry about that. Marcus, you have the Super Lakers being built with Dwight Howard and Steve Nash coming in, shifting the momentum towards to the west. Then you had Ray Allen going to the Heat. Then you had Chris Paul and all his cronies with the Clippers. Then we go to Major League Baseball, where we have the Los Angeles Dodgers maybe acquiring Adrian Gonzalez and his friends. I don't know if the deal went through yet.
It went through at like 2:30 today.
Okay, so it went over this. I'm saying, Marcus, all these people are jumping ship, going to different teams, shifting the balance of their respective conference and league, Marcus. And I would want to ask you this question. Besides John Cena, Marcus, is there any wrestler that from TNA that could jump to WWE and make a difference or be such an impact, or vice versa outside of John Cena? Is there any wrestler in WWE that could jump to TNA and just say, damn it, now they're in charge and they're about to make moves?
Spit in my face.
No,
I'm sorry.
No pun intended when you said impact.
No, exactly.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to say that. Yeah, there'll be a few.
Really?
I think if and I know you may be down with this, but I still want to see Samoa Joe in WWE. I think he can make a big impact. I think he wrestles a better WWE style than he does TNA style. And I think, minus John Cena, he can't go to TNA.
John Cena can't go.
I think if Randy Orton or, what's that dude name? Sheamus went to TNA. I'm just going to name the top guys. CM Punk, they all went to TNA. They're changing stuff.
Marcus, but Marcus, it doesn't.
I don't know, they'll ruin them.
Yeah.
No, they ruin everybody.
They ruin everybody.
But it will make a difference.
No, but Marcus, let me point out, like, when LeBron James made
It's
that
a lot different than CM Punk being jumped by the aces and eights than the James Doe.
No, when when LeBron James made that jump to the Miami Heat, it was a shift in power. They became a dominant team, Marcus. Unfortunately, I think in professional wrestling at this time, at this present moment, that there's nobody that can make a difference in professional wrestling, either company, but John Cena. John Cena is the only impact player. No pun intended.
I disagree.
Really?
What if Triple H would have went to TNA? I know a nasty divorce later. He goes into TNA. Eric, he brings his booking knowledge. He brings all Vince's secrets. He comes up with a new game plan. He makes himself the star. He's a notable name. He considers himself a legend. I think that's a big jump.
But Marcus, John Cena is now the it factor of professional wrestling. He's the kids. He's who the kids love. That's when people think of wrestling right now. They think of John Cena. If John Cena would go to TNA, it'll be a huge switch.
The Rock.
The Rock is a Hollywood actor. He's not going to devote all his time.
If he goes to TNA, their ratings go through the roof.
No, if he goes, believe it or not, he's probably the only person who can shift the power.
Steve Austin.
I don't think Steve Austin can do it because he can't wrestle.
And
Marcus, as much as you like Steve Austin, I don't think that he has that same appeal as The Rock does.
Yes, he does.
I don't.
He's made more money over time than The Rock ever did with merchandise.
You know what? I have to say the image of TNA, the look of TNA, it doesn't matter what wrestler comes over there.
So what you're trying to say, the new voice, the new voice, because Ryan isn't here for the previous week. The new voice, Shantae, or Sharpie Wife, or whatever you go by. You're saying it doesn't make a difference because TNA's arena is garbage.
It's garbage.
So they need to leave the Impact Zone.
They just need to do the whole thing all over again.
So when they like go to other venues, like they had this other pay-per-view, I don't remember, it was a few months ago, and they had it in the stadium, and it was packed. They sold out, and I think it was Lockdown and whatever. I don't know. I can't remember the name of that garbage pay-per-views, but they had a big arena. So if they went to big arena style and like college campuses, or just out the Impact
I'm saying image. Like not the actual arena.
Oh, you're trying to say they're trashy.
The whole like look. It's just.
It looks low budget.
It looks very low budget. I don't care whose star comes up in there.
Well,
it just looks really
Hulk
bad.
Hogan agrees with you though. That's what Hulk Hogan goes. He's like, brother, we need to get out of here. We need to change everything because we look low budget. No matter what they see low budget.
No, but I mean, to the credit of WWE, when WWE puts on a show, it's a production. You can tell that they're putting on a production.
Well, they spend millions of dollars on every show. It seems like.
Yeah, but to me it seems like
pyro to the lights.
But to me it seems like TNA is spending millions of dollars in the wrong places. Hulk Hogan, Brooke Hogan.
Yeah, people. Like I said, they need to change the image.
So what
you
need to change the whole.
I mean, all these people they brought in, and nothing has happened.
Another example would be like Gordon Ramsay Kitchen Nightmares. He goes in there and don't really help anything but give him new furniture.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're changing the players, but you're not changing the image and what you're
that's the best way to do it. I mean if they will be doing good if they change the image.
Well, they started with the ring. I mean,
they went the four-sided ring. Then they
it just looks
they overhauled the set a little bit. They left Nashville.
No pun intended. It just looks too impacted. It's very very
small,
cramped.
Yeah,
it's just you need to spread out and the camera angles are so like close up.
And even if you have a small venue, at least make wider angle shots where it makes it look like it's a bigger place. Because it does feel small. I mean, the first time when I watched
it's raining over here.
Sorry.
You have an umbrella?
The first time
that's even better.
The first time watching TNA Impact, the first thing that you really realize, and it's crazy, is like how small the ring is. When you watch WWE, you didn't really notice how small the ring was
until you went to a live
show. Yeah. On TNA, you see the smallness of the ring. It's like, wow, this ring is really small.
And then they cut the camera like at the turnbuckles. They always have it where you never see the other end of the turnbuckle. It looks like they're running.
And you know what? You don't really see like the audience, like like the focus should be with the wrestlers. I think they're looking at how the audience are responding because they're so in the camera.
Yeah.
And all mixed into. It's just the whole image is awful.
Well, I was watching the Rise and Fall of ECW's DVD. And I don't know how much time I have left.
We can always
you guys
pause.
Got 3 more minutes.
Yeah, we can always pause.
I was watching that DVD, and they were talking about how ECW had no budget and how they barely could pay wrestlers, and the way they can never compete with the production value and the arena that it be. But their whole plan was we will hide all of our problems and try to accentuate our positives. So. You can't tell that yes they're in a small like bingo sweaty ass place, but you'd never notice like because they were shooting in which you'd be like but pay attention to this, they'll distract you from it.
Yeah.
TNA seems to try to focus by having like look at that, it's an impact thing over there. That doesn't look like
we're a small intimate crowd. Blah blah blah. The ramp is 10 feet away from the ring. It's
about 24 feet now. It used to be down to the ring, but
you know what?
But the ramp is still a walk. It's still a walk. Like TNA is like you walk out, we're at the ring already.
But you know what? ECW it was going for like a grunge type of thing, right?
Yeah, it was going for hardcore wrestling.
That's it hit its goal, for how it looked. It was very small, intimate. Very people throwing stuff at folks. Okay, yeah, you got it going. That's what you were going for. That's how it.
It established an identity. TNA has absolutely no identity. It looks like a cheap knockoff of WWE, and honestly, Ring of Honor.
Like a cheap knockoff.
Ring of Honor, I respect them because you know Ring of Honor is an indie thing, and it has the indie feel, but that's what gives it its mystique.
Exactly, because it has its identity. Well, it's an indie feel.
The way they do
so
it
you
also,
don't expect nothing really.
Indie shows, what they do, and TNA is in that borderline of an indie show that made it mainstream pretty much, and it's 10 years in, and they still can't afford the big stuff WWE does. But what they try to compete anyway, and they just can't afford it. It's like, oh, I went to Walmart and I got this nice shirt. Oh, but WWE, they went to get it custom made by, you know, Versace or something. I don't care think fashion, but they went to go get it done, but they got it from Walmart and stuff. And it's like we got
it's just laughable, you know, like it's laughable.
They're like their whole pyro
it's already we already know it's fake. But you just make it look even faker. I mean, you just make it look even faker. You're like, oh my gosh, what am I looking at?
And then how certain wrestlers have pyro while other wrestlers don't, and then the pyro.
One more minute.
Well, let's stop right here.
Stop?
Yeah, stop. And then we'll wait a minute.
Pyro.
So the pyro like with Rob Van Dam. When Rob Van Dam comes out, it's like a pop.
It's just like an accident.
It's like
oh my God, what happened under there?
It really feels like there's somebody back there with a pack of firecrackers just setting it off. Like it doesn't feel like pyro.
If I was running around some show with one guy with like some sparkles and some M80s just going pop 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 pop. Oh my God, what was that?
No, but you know what I mean. I'm like,
you know, but it would be even funnier or like entertaining if the camera goes to the person in the background going like that.
A while ago there was Gilbert. He was making fun of Goldberg. He come out there and they have to, you know, because Goldberg would walk through his pyro and breathe into it and all that. So Gilbert would come out there and he would walk out and they would have these sparkles. And these two guys hold the sparkles over him and he can't take it. And he's like suffocating. He's falling over.
That's funny.
Yeah, but see, but that was part of the gimmick. That was telling the story. Like TNA just it has like this is the Bound for Glory series that's going on. But like there's no rhyme or reason of who determined how many matches these people have. I mean, I can't keep track who had more matches than the other person.
I learned this week because this was recorded right after TNA sometime. Okay.
Is that?
Are you what? The Rock? You
no,
the Rock?
AJ.
Oh, okay.
We got the gloves and we put together. He's AJ Styles.
Mr. Anderson was apparently fighting his last match in the Bound for Glory series, and I was like, wait a minute, I've seen people fight 3 or 4 or 5 times, and or maybe 30 times, and it's like his last match. I was like, they don't give us a match total. They should give us a schedule. It should be like the NBA season or the baseball season. You can look at this guy's schedule. They're coming up to this guy tonight. He fights Devon.
You know, the only thing I know is Aces 8.
We'll get to that later.
Oh man, you need to see that this week.
No,
Eric, you need to watch TNA immediately.
Well, maybe I'll watch it after this recording of the show, Mark. But the thing about that really upsets me about the whole Bound for Glory series, which shows the low budgetness of TNA, is just how at these house shows they're having Bound for Glory matches for points, but they don't always tell us about what happened. It's just like all of a sudden you come and you see the point total. Like
last year when they did it, they were doing it. They were showing highlights of these matches, like, oh, this guy fought this guy and he earned some points and getting back in.
It was
but
those
this
pictures,
year, it's
snapshots.
Yeah, they would show snapshots and then there'd be little footage here and there. They're like high-fiving fans or whatever, and you see Gunner going like this and whatever. But it was like, oh, they're following up. This year it's like, yeah, they have some matches this week. Bound for Glory matches. But it's like,
you know what? Because they got too many things going on. It's like they're once again impacted. Too many stories.
I mean, you got Aces and A, you got AJ and his baby, you got the Bound for Glory series. Titles are not being defended, things like that. It's crazy. But I don't want to sit here and pick on TNA because I want to talk about WWE too, since this is open forum night, aka open fight night. WWE is not WWE used to be. I mean, right now, it's too much damn wrestling. It's just too much. It's 3 hours of wrestling. They just keep having matches. WWE back in the day, we used to have backstage segments that told stories. It was like watching a soap opera. Like,
no, it's 3 hours now, and all they're thinking is this: we have to fill time. Let's have more matches instead of trying to coach.
But you can fill no time with having backstage segments that actually tell stories. Like, we need more involvement between this whole Jinder Mahal and Ryback situation. How about Jinder backstage? How about Jinder backstage trying to pay people off to attack Ryback or something like that? I'm just saying we need. Only thing we get Del Rio pulling up in his car, or they're in an office with the GM or something like that. We don't have
Sean, Triple H, and
we don't have those random moments of where like the B talent are backstage doing stuff, or how about the primetime players just being extremely annoying to people backstage?
See, this is another problem they do. They do have that stuff now. But it's only on WWE.com.
Which is ridiculous.
And it's only on Tout and then on Twitter, and they have all this interaction there, and they don't really throw on show. Or like this week, they seem to be filling more time by putting these clips from WWE.com onto the show to tell a story this week, when they could just put it on the show and have it backstage.
Yeah.
Instead of building up a WWE.com exclusive.
And like for
I
me,
think they're
like,
overzealous. They want to be in everything. They want to be Twitter, Facebook,
they're trying
whatever.
to make money, because right now they're losing a lot of money, so they're trying to do whatever. They're trying to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. But I promise you need to go back to your fundamentals. What got you to the limelight?
So,
and let me make this point. Like this week on Raw, you had the Dolph Ziggler Chris Jericho situation. That was a good situation, but then they had to go mess it up and throw AJ in there. It should have been the wrestlers that determined. Like, you know, Dolph Ziggler in there talking all that crap. Then Jericho says, so if you think you're so tough, why don't you put your money in the bank on the line? And then he's like, you know what, I will. Why don't you put your career on the line? Then you have AJ okay to match. You don't need
career. It was his WWE.
It was whatever, but for AJ to walk in there, and to say, oh, this is the match that's gonna happen.
Well, she's the boss.
I know she's the boss, but at the same time, you're not giving us a sense of feud. We need to feel like Dolph Ziggler and Chris Jericho really do not like each other, instead of having people get it. And once again, a month is not enough time. Right now, Jinder and Ryback is the only feud that is going on.
It's over.
Oh shit, it's over. Get it on SmackDown.
To be honest with you, I think kind of like AJ run her course. So like I don't even know why they still have her out there.
Well, they had to fill a storyline of the general manager, and they had nowhere to go with it.
That's crazy.
Just throw her in there.
Because she was a hot commodity.
That don't make any sense though, because it's like I don't even get her now, because I'm used to her being crazy with all three of that love triangle.
Now she's pseudo crazy, kind of like R-Truth.
Yeah. But
he's funny.
So consistent with him.
He's funny.
Back to the fundamentals. So this morning I got the pleasure of watching WWE Saturday Morning Slam.
Good job.
Their new kids show for the morning on the WB, which is LCW.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So it's a show in which it was 30 minutes, and I wasn't sure what to expect from the show, and what I got was inside NBA stuff. Or This Week in Baseball type of show, in which it's just backstage, you learn to wrestle, and then we get one match. And then you get a very kiddie match at that. You had Santino doing commentary with Josh Matthews against Kofi Kingston. Well, Kofi Kingston versus Heath Slater. In a match that was very kid-friendly. It was a good match. Believe it or not, they stuck to like fundamentals of the match, and then they did a lot of shots to random kids cheering. It seemed like a very kiddie show. But it was well done. They took the time.
That's cute.
And then they like... Brodus Clay taught people how to do his dance with Funky Diamonds. They had it ended with a music video with all the wrestlers singing some song.
We are the world.
Yeah, it was like they were all randomly singing songs in spots. And it was like, oh, okay. And then next week they go over like Rey Mysterio's history and talking about all of this, and then it ends with like a Rey Mysterio match.
No,
it's a very like simple. It's like it was a well done show. It's like this is the kid show they need to have.
Let me get a good example of like storylines that they would have did back in the day. Right now we have, because we got to wrap time up and close this show out because it's probably going too long. We can go forever. But right now we got the feud between Brodus Clay and Damien Sandow. Now. Old school wrestling, it's over. Damien Sandow, he is the intellect who refuses to fight the idiot Brodus Clay. So technically, Sandow should have people who he's recruiting that he's trying to enlighten to fight Brodus Clay for him instead of getting his hands dirty. And it just like, and then they just have these matches and then they fight. And
you mean he need cronies?
Yeah, he needs. Sandow needs cronies. You want him to have his own game of aces and eights.
But Mark, his whole character is that he's there to enlighten the imbeciles in wrestling, so he needs to have those imbeciles that he enlightens.
We do need another faction. It's about time they need another faction.
That doesn't involve Wade Barrett.
Let's talk about Wade Barrett, Marcus. The barrage is on his way.
He has a new video this week.
A new one. All right.
You know.
So
he better not come back at the same Wade Barrett. He better be a street fighter.
He would take them.
A brawler.
Yeah, he better look like Saget.
Oh. Marcus, I think that's the best place to end this show.
I
hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And we had no rhyme or reason. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter, which is mainly following Ryan. That's the Sharpshooters on Twitter. You can send us emails at thesharpshooters@gmail.com or comment at the videos below. But for right now, I think we're going to close this episode out. So I'm Eric.
And I'm Marcus, the grand finale.
And until next week, stay sharp. Recording?
Yes.
Ready, Marcus?
You didn't count to 3.
Oh, sorry.
You said ready? No.
Did you start the timer, babe?
Yeah. No.